You tell them Philippians 4:19. Oh Lord, and sure enough, y'all, 2 weeks later, that boy daddy and mother died. And about 30 days later, an eviction notice got on the house. And that boy started sleeping under the bridge. We started eating out of the trash. Start begging on the streets. And one day a man came by in a Mercedes Benz, and he saw that little boy, and he said to that boy, he said, son, how old are you? That boy looked up at the man and said, Philippians 4:19. And the man said, where do you stay, boy? You look homeless. Where is your mother and father? That boy looked up at the man and said, Philippians 4:19. And that man said, well, since I can't get nothing out of you, do you want to ride in my Mercedes Benz? And I'll take you up the street to an orphanage home, and they'll help you out. And that boy looked at the man and said, Philippians 4:19. They got in the car. The man carried him to the orphanage home. And when they got there, the man got out the car and met the old lady at the door and told the receptionist, I saw this little boy on the street corner. I asked him some questions, and the only thing I got out of him was Philippians 4:19. The receptionist said, it's all right, sir, we can handle this. We specialize in children like this boy. That lady looked at the boy and said, you a handsome young man. She said, what's your name? He said, Philippians 4:19. She said, young boy, what grade are you in? He said, Philippians 4:19. The reception met another woman, was a social worker, and she told the social worker what was going on. And then the social worker said, it's all right, I can handle him. She looked at the boy and said, boy, how you doing? He said, Philippians 4:19. She said, young man, I can tell now you hadn't got a good rest, and it looks like you haven't eaten a good hot meal. She said, do you want some red beans and rice, and some smoked sausage, some strawberry cake, and some fruit punch? That boy looked at that woman and he said, Philippians 4:19. Do I have a witness now? That boy ate all of that food and was full as a tick. And the social worker came back to the boy and said, young boy, do you have somewhere to lay your head? You can sleep here tonight, and in the morning we'll talk about this thing. That boy said, Philippians 4:19. He slept that night like a newborn baby. The next morning they woke the boy up. They said, young man, we want to know, how did you rest? He said, Philippians 4:19. They said, do you want some breakfast? He said, Philippians 4:19. And then that social worker got aggravated, fixed the boy breakfast, and as he was eating breakfast, she boss and told her boss. The boss said, well, when he finished eating his breakfast, bring him in my office and let us talk to him. When the boy got through eating, went into the boss office. The boss said, young boy, won't you sit down? She said, I understand. There's a little bit problem here, and we need you to cooperate with us. And we just gotta ask you a few little questions, little basic questions, like how old are you? When were you born? What's your daddy's name? What's your mama's name? That boy looked at the boss and said, Philippians 4:19. The boss said, well, you keep saying that. They said you said it yesterday, and you're saying it right now. I want to know one thing. What does Philippians 4:19 say? That boy looked at the woman, and he said, ma'am, I don't have a clue. You don't hear me now. He said, I don't know what it say, but all I know is my mama and daddy were on their deathbed, and they told me that people like y'all are gonna ask me a lot of questions, and they said that when you ask me a lot of questions, respond by saying Philippians 4:19. He said, I don't know what it said, but he said, I know one thing. I know what it does. I have a witness. He said, when I said Philippians 4:19, I got a ride in a Mercedes Benz. When I said Philippians 4:19, I had food on the table. When I said